5S is the most forward-thinking.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be reviewing one of the classic smartphones that started it all, the iPhone 5S. The iPhone 5S was first released in 2013 and still holds up as a solid and reliable device. This was the device which really turned me into an Apple fan. All those years ago, unboxing this and holding this for the first time was the most satisfying feeling. I was mesmerized by the craftsmanship and quality. The design of the iPhone 5S is iconic with a sleek and premium look. So much so that Apple brought the design back to its smartphones with the iPhone 12 and onwards, minus the chamfered edges. The aluminium body, the chamfered edges and the signature home button all made for a beautiful and timeless design. The iPhone 5S retained the same general form factor as the iPhone 5, which at the time I had skipped as I had the iPhone 4S. It weighed just 112 grams, which is a stark difference from the 140 grams of the iPhone 4S. It made the 5S one of the most compact smartphones on the market at the time. I missed the ability to actually be able to use the phone with just one hand and not have to do awkward shuffling to reach the top. The front of the device was dominated by a 4-inch LED LCD Retina display with a PPI of 326. The display was covered with Corning Gorilla Glass, which provided excellent scratch and impact resistance. For a phone that is nearly 10 years old, it still holds up to be a solid device, with really good speakers and the ability to play graphic intense games such as Rail Racing 3. Finally have it here, so if we jump straight into it and check out the new build number for this beta. One of the standout features of the iPhone 5S is Touch ID fingerprint scanner, which was integrated into the home button. Touch ID allows users to unlock the device and make purchases with a simple touch of their finger, eliminating the need to enter a password or passcode. At the time, having a fingerprint scanner was one of the things that amazed me. I remember downloading apps on my iPhone 4S which imitated fingerprint scanners, and it felt so futuristic having such a thing implemented on a phone. The Touch ID sensor was fast, accurate and secure, and helped to make the device easier and more convenient to use. As much as I love Face ID, Touch ID was special, and I really hope Apple brings it back to the iPhones at some point. Moving on to the camera, the iPhone 5S had an 8 megapixel iSight camera and is actually quite impressive. It was capable of capturing high quality photos and videos. The camera was equipped with a 5-element lens and dual LED flash, which allowed for clear and well-lit photos in low light conditions. The camera also featured autofocus, tap to focus and true tone flash, which helped to produce natural looking skin tones and accurate colours in photos. Apple really was leading the camera race, and the 5S stepped up their game that extra bit. At those times, the photos and videos from the phone were really good and produced pictures more than better for social media, which was starting to take off with the likes of Instagram. In addition, the iPhone 5S was also capable of recording 1080p HD video at 60 frames per second, allowing for smooth and high quality video playback. Considering its age, the camera produces great photos in good lighting conditions, and the True Tone flash helps produce more natural looking flash photos. So, moving on to the specs, under the hood the iPhone 5S was powered by Apple's A7 chip, which was the first 64-bit mobile processor on the market. The chip was based on ARM's Cortex-A57 and Cortex-A53 architecture and offered significant performance improvements over the previous generation A6 chip. The A7 chip was paired with 1GB of RAM, which allowed the device to handle multiple applications and demanding games with ease. Here's a short clip from the keynote when they announced the iPhone 5S and the capabilities the graphic card was able to perform at.
We begin our journey in the Hideout, which serves as a hub for players to access any of the 8 new worlds in Infinity Blade 3.
Is a level of graphics and performance you have never before seen on a mobile device.
The iPhone 5S also featured a PowerVR G6430 GPU, which provided smooth and responsive graphics performance. Being able to play near console graphics at the time was truly amazing. Games such as Asphalt Airborne or Infinity Blade 3 straight from my phone. My PSP Go unfortunately started feeling very neglected around this time. The iPhone 5S was released with iOS 7, which represented a major redesign of Apple's mobile operating system. iOS 7 featured a new, flatter design language with a focus on simplicity and clarity, departing the skeuomorphic design language of iOS 6 and before. It felt so fresh, and although certain aspects of skeuomorphism is starting to make a comeback, at the time iOS 7 felt like a breath of fresh air and very modern. The operating system also introduced a number of new features and improvements, including AirDrop, Control Center and the iTunes Radio Music streaming service. This 5S is running iOS 12, and it's very hard to find a phone that is actually running on iOS 7. So that's it for my review of the iPhone 5S. Despite being an older device, the iPhone 5S is still a solid and reliable smartphone that holds up well even today. If you're looking for a classic and affordable iPhone, the iPhone 5S is definitely worth considering. Thanks for watching guys. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more reviews and tech content. See you in the next one. Take care.